Hello friends! If you're anything like me, cuddling up with a blanket and a spooky game is way up your October Halloween to-do list. So I want to help you out and make a list of games that I think are both very cozy but also deal with more scary themes for this Halloween season. I also included games that are more on the cozy side or adventure side, so I'm hoping there's something for everybody in this list. However, if you're not into dark cozy games or darker themes in your video games, I also made a list last month of games that I feel like are perfect for the fall season, so I'm gonna link that somewhere for you if you prefer to watch that instead. Okay, let's get started. First on my list is a game called Bramble, the Mountain King. This is actually the scary game that I personally have chosen to play and stream this month for Halloween, and one that I've been looking forward to playing for a long time. Bramble is an adventure game based on Scandinavian folklore where you take on the role of Oli, a young boy setting off to rescue his sister kidnapped by a dreaded troll. You go on a gripping and unsettling journey through stunning environments, but not everything in Bramble is exactly how it seems. In this strange land with creatures big and small, you must be careful when to approach and when to hide. Oli must solve puzzles, jump across platforms, and even defeat the horrid creatures in unique and uncommon ways. They do say that you have to be warned because courage without kindness can lead you down a dark path. This game caught my eye because of its gorgeous and magical style that seems to balance both the children's storybook aesthetic with the creepy aesthetic really well. I'm also really intrigued to learn about all of these folkloric creatures and stories. It looks so stunning and interesting. I cannot wait to get into it this month. Next on my list is a game called Inside. I finished this game recently and I absolutely loved it. This is a dark puzzle platformer where you play as an unnamed boy who finds himself in a mysterious forest. As you try to escape the hands of hunters, you are led into what seems to be an evil corporation. You get to explore surreal and mostly monochromatic environments as you solve super interesting and engaging puzzles. You even gain the ability to control other bodies. In my opinion, this game really shines in its ambience and design. This is a game that looks to feel a little bit more unsettling rather than having like jump scares or monsters or things like that, which I think is what makes it both cozy and perfect to play during Halloween. Especially if you're not a big fan of horror heavy games, I feel like this is a good one to start with. This is also a game that is open to interpretation, which is something that I really value in this style of games. You can unlock different endings to this game, which I didn't know before I played it, and now I want to play it again so that I can actually unlock the new ending. I 100% recommend this game. Following on my list is a game that is actually made by the same developers, and that is Limbo. This is a game that I have not played yet, but every time I talk about darker cozy games, I get this game recommended, and I know that there's a lot of people on my Discord that love this game very much. Limbo is an award-winning indie adventure critically acclaimed for its captivating puzzle design and immersive sounds and visuals. Another thing that I think is really cool about this game is that whenever I look up descriptions for it, they always say the same thing, and that is, uncertain of his sister's fate, a boy enters Limbo, which I think really adds to the intrigue of what this Limbo really is and how mysterious this game is. This game is on my list, and if it's anything like Inside, I know I'm gonna love it. The next game on my list is definitely more on the cozy than scary side, and that game is called Birth. I wanted to include this game on the list because it looks so stunning and the gameplay seems to be so relaxing while it also deals with darker themes. I just feel like this is the perfect Halloween mix for the cozy gamer. Birth is an adventure puzzle game where you are in search of body parts. Yeah, I said body parts. You're trying to find spare bones and organs around the city in order to build a creature to quell your loneliness. You get to solve physics-based puzzles, interact with unique, interesting creatures, and discover secrets in lovingly designed museums, bakeries, libraries, bookstores, and more. Everyone who's close to me in real life knows that I'm a big fan of the Frankenstein book and Frankenstein's monster. The idea of playing some version of that in a video game is very interesting to me. Also, this is one of those games that you can tell the creators just put so much love into every single puzzle and design, which I personally am a big fan of. This is definitely one to sit with a cup of tea and slowly get through to be able to look at all the beautiful details in the art style. Following on my list is a complete vibe change, and that is a game called Have a Nice Death. Listen, I love a game with some dark sense of humor, and this game seems to be just that, which is the reason why I decided to include it in this list. I also wanted to include a game that was a little more action-packed for those cozy gamers out there who like those kind of games. Have a Nice Death is a 2D action roguelike where you play as Death, who is completely overworked and whose employees have run rampant, completely throwing off the balance of souls and his vacation plans. In order to restore order, that's a weird sentence. In order to restore order, you'll have to grab your trusty scythe and show your employees who's boss. In this game, you get to discover and explore the darkly charming departments of Death Inc., where you'll meet a bunch of different characters like your affable pumpkin-headed assistant, Pump Quinn, who's just so stinking cute. This game is way more on the dark action side than scary. What I really love about this game is that it balances the cute aspects with the dark aspects really well. I also just love a game that includes funny dialogue and silly themes, which this game is completely built upon such a silly theme, which in my opinion is going to make the gameplay really cozy. Next on my list is a game that was actually one of my favorite releases of last year, and that is Cult of the Lamb. This is another game that plays on the spooky, cute, silly themes really well, and one that I think is a great starting point for those cozy gamers who want to get into fighting games and dungeon crawlers. This is a great beginner's point. Cult of the Lamb has you play in the role of a possessed lamb saved from annihilation by an ominous stranger who must repay their debt by building a lawyer following in his name. You start your own cult in a land of false prophets, venturing out into diverse and mysterious regions to build a lawyer community to become the one true cult. This game, in my opinion, has something for everybody. You can decorate your cult camp, build up your set of beliefs, customize what your followers look like. You can collect items, farm, fight, and even discover the mysteries of your own story. I love this game so much. Definitely more on the adventure dark side rather than scary, I would say. Also, this game's soundtrack is amazing. I had it on repeat when I first got the game. So good. Following on my list is a game that I was immediately drawn to when I first saw the trailer because it looks so stunning, and that game is called Roki. This is a stunning adventure set in the snowy-capped Scandinavian wilderness. You play as Stove, and you go on a fantastical journey to save your family. You must explore an uncharted world of hidden gems and forgotten monsters, solve puzzles, collect curiosities, and uncover a tale of tragic loss as you chart your path to redemption. This game also gets progressively darker as you play it and get deeper into the forest. In this game, you get to make friends with monsters who are all so beautiful. You even get to chart your journey in your trusty journal. If you're into non-violent gameplay, this is definitely the game for you. This is a truly modern take on the adventure game genre, which I think makes it so cozy. I'm genuinely surprised that this game hasn't gotten more praise, especially this time of the year. And last but not least, I wanted to mention Oxenfree 1 and 2. A lot of cozy gamers absolutely love this game, and the second one just came out recently this year, and it looks incredible. Oxenfree is a supernatural thriller. You play as Alex, a bright, rebellious teenager who brings her new stepbrother Jonas to an overnight party in an old military island. The night takes a terrifying turn when you open a ghostly gate spawned from the island's cryptic past. How you deal with these events, your peers, and the ominous creatures you've unleashed is up to you. This game is visually stunning and also very cool because the game has an intelligent conversation system that changes the story and your relationships based on every decision. You get to unravel multiple mysteries that span through decades and lifetimes. How cool is that? And Oxenfree 2 takes place 5 years after the first game, where one of the main characters returns to her hometown to investigate mysterious radio signals. And again, in Oxenfree 2, you also get to make choices that will ultimately shape the story itself. What I like about these two games also is that you can play them as standalone, or you can dive deeper by playing them both, which is completely up to you, and I think is really cool. I 100% recommend them. And those are all the spooky, cozy games that I wanted to share with you today. Let me know if there are other scary games that you consider cozy that I should know about and add to my list. I would love to know. And most importantly, as always, remember to take care of yourself, have some rest, have some water. Happy Halloween, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.